Hello, this is CapCAN Knows, the official podcast of the Capital Area College Access Network. We're excited to engage the community in conversations about college access. I'm your host, Eric Catchman, and AmeriCorps Vista, serving with CapCAN. Joining me is CapCAN's Executive Director, Michelle Strauss, and today we are joined by our guest, Michael Flowers, the Executive Director of Labor Relations at the Lansing Board of Water and Light. The Board of Water and Light was recognized by CapCAN as this year's College Access Champion awardee for its First Step program, which provides high school students with work-based learning experiences. So let's get started. First of all, Michael, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you very much, Eric. I look forward to spending some time with you this morning.
So we begin our podcast with a personal story of who encouraged you to continue your education beyond high school, and why that education was important with you. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Sure. Like any young person, or I would say most young people graduating from high school, some people have, as I call grandiose ideas of what they're going to do when they graduate, and go off to college or go off and do this or that. Um, I was an athlete in high school and I had dreams of continuing my athleticism, but I really wasn't certain exactly how I was going to do that or what I was going to do. And I was approached by a friend of my parents about going into an apprenticeship program and doing some education and some on the job training through apprenticeships. And I had absolutely no idea what an apprenticeship was. And he stated that General Motors was looking for young people who were college minded but wasn't certain about college, that wanted to learn a trade or a skill, and they're looking for die makers or tool and die makers. And again, I had absolutely no clue what a apprenticeship was or what a tool and die maker was. Uh, and he talked to me for a while and said that they would pay for your education. After high school, they'll train you on a skill, and you would actually be employed. And until he told me what the dollar amount was that I would be making while I was learning and going to school, was what actually finally got to me. Um, I was making back in the mid 70s $1.98, working a part-time job, and he said this job will pay you $6.50 an hour, and they'll pay for you to go to college, and they'll train you how to be a die maker. And I'm like, okay, sign me up. I'm in. And from that point forward, I became a tool and die maker. I did that for approximately 10 years or so. And it really was not what I dreamed about doing. I, at that point in time, figured, I've got a couple of years of school under my belt. I want to get more education. And um, I wanted to be in a position where I could help other people, and I was in business, and um, actually, as I joke about it, putting on a suit and tie every day and meeting with people. And I figured in order to do that, I needed some additional education, and I had to put myself out there in a realm that I wasn't used to or didn't really know about, but something that I figured I wanted to try to do, and I did. And 40 years later, I'm still doing it, and I enjoy it very much.
That's really cool. My grandfather was a die maker, some company in like Detroit, Michigan. I don't know off the top of my head. He's also spent his entire life tinkering in his basement, various machines. So
For me, it was area in which not a lot of minorities were involved in. And this was back in the 70s, and even now in 2021, you don't see a lot of minorities, specifically African Americans, in skilled trade positions.
yeah,
That was one of the reasons we wanted to talk with you today, because we know you have some unique programs at the Board of Water and Light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So our next question is, please tell our listeners about the Board of Water and Light, just some general information, please.
Well, general information, the Board of Water and Light has been around for over 135, 137 years. Provide utility services to the greater Lansing area, electricity, water, steam heat, chilled water are 4 different utilities. We are the 3rd largest utility in Michigan. We are the largest municipal utility in Michigan. We have over 96,000 customer base. We employ over 700 people at the Board of Water and Light. We are very committed to the community. We give back to the community, and it's hometown people, hometown power, and we live by that every day.
So tell us a little bit about your role at the Lansing Board of Water and Light, and how your journey from apprenticeships to this role happened, and what that has taught you in this role.
Well, what it has taught me, being an apprentice and a journey worker, has helped me in many ways. I've been in human resources for over 30 years now, but being able to relate to apprentices and skilled trades has given me the opportunity to relate to our workforce in a manner in which a lot of people somewhat struggle to do so, because they are HR professionals or they've been in the business realm, but they have not had the opportunity to walk in the shoes of, as we call, the boots on the ground. And having been in an apprenticeship, going through that for 4 years, and studying the trades for 5, 6, 7 years after that, and knowing what's involved in that aspect of the employment process, has helped me in my role, being in human resources and labor relations, and having gone back to school and completing my degrees in those studies has just kind of wrapped everything around to where I started from, being back in the role of, okay, when I'm talking to or recruiting for apprentices, I know, I hate to say, I know what I'm talking about, because I was there. I know what you need to do. I know how it needs to be done. And then when you become a journey worker, what you need to do for those apprentices that are behind you, and what you need to offer. It's not like I'm taking it from a textbook. I lived it. I did it. I breathed it. I know it.
I want to follow up for a second.
Sure.
You mentioned previously that there hasn't been a lot of diversity in the skilled trades, and I know that's a big priority for the Board of Water and Light, to increase the diversity within your workforce. So
Yes.
how do you try to reach out to young people of color in our community to talk about the types of opportunities that they have, not only with BWL, but in the trades in our community?
By going to the trade unions around the area, going to organizations, NAACP, Turning Point, organizations that reach out to young minorities in the area, and exposing them to or communicating to them about skilled trades availability, not just at the Board of Water and Light, but within our unions and within organizations around town. Oftentimes, young minorities don't even know what opportunities that are available to them unless we reach out to them. And I was just in a meeting yesterday having the same discussion, trying to reach people, young people, as early as 6th, 7th grade. And my mantra is reach them early and often. Make contact with them, let them know. If you talk to a person about IT or OT or HVAC or electrical circuits and some of these things, they have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. If you talk to them about Google or Instagram or some of
Mhm.
these things, they know exactly what you're talking about. And a lot of these things are relatable, but they're right here in your own backyard, and we just have to associate with them what it is, how you can access these things, and make it accessible to them. In years past, there was a lot of nepotism, and people who were in the trades would get their kids involved in the trades,
Mhm.
or so on and so forth. But not having a lot of minorities in the trades, you didn't have that same realm of communication or reaching down to the next generation. And myself and other people are trying to make that accessibility for young people so that they understand, that they know what's out there. You know, I grew up in Lansing, 4 or 5 blocks from the Lansing Board of Water and Light. And yeah, I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be working at this company that was right down the street from me. Yeah, I
Sure.
never thought I'd work at Oldsmobile or which now General Motors, but it we have so many different opportunities that are just not, we always need line workers. We always
Mhm.
need some of the people that are, making or building water mains, but there's so many other opportunities at the Board of Water and Light.
Right, right. I think it's important for students to see themselves and see people that look like them pursuing these careers. But if you're right, if you don't know that they're out there, then that's something that we have to talk about. The reality is we all have electricity, right? We all turn on our lights every morning when we get out of bed. So if a student can just put those dots together, that might help them find a pathway to the Board of Water and Light.
And no one on this conversation right now even thinks twice about turning on the faucet and having clean water to drink.
Mhm.
Um, where there are so many cities that don't have
That's true. That is very true, especially in Michigan, unfortunately.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So it's important, and people take it for granted, and it shouldn't be taken for granted.
definitely, definitely. Well, thank you for sharing that.
So our next question is related to Apprenticeship Week, which is coming up from the 15th to the 21st. So can you tell us a little bit about what the Lansing Board of Water and Light plans to do for this upcoming Apprenticeship Week, and a little bit about what LBWL does regarding just apprenticeships in general?
Sure. For Apprenticeship Week, what we didn't, unfortunately, were able to do it last year because of COVID, but we usually have a breakfast or a luncheon for all the current apprentices and former apprentices that are now journey workers at the board. And between our general manager who oversees the Board of Water and Light, he makes a specific point to thank each and every one of them for being a part of our apprenticeship program, and make certain that they're acknowledged during that week, and that they're an important factor in the Board of Water and Light. And we acknowledge them. We make certain that we feed them during that week, and that we give them the exposure, not just throughout the organization, but throughout the city, that we have some of the strongest apprenticeship programs in not just in mid-Michigan, but in the Midwest. Throughout the course of apprenticeship programs here at the board, of course, we have certain number of process hours that apprentices have to go through, and we make certain that we have journey to apprenticeship ratios that are safe, and that people are able to learn what they need to learn on the job. We pay for their classes that they need to take. We give them time to take the classes away from the job place, and we make certain they have all the tools for the trade. We pay for all their tools, all their clothing, if they need to have arc flash rated clothing or FR rated clothing for their particular trade. We make certain they have all the tools necessary in order for them to be successful in that trade.
So Michael, I know you're very involved in the community in a lot of different nonprofit and educational organizations. And you have sat on the board of the Ingham Intermediate School District for quite some time. So why is it important for the Board of Water and Light to promote and drive post-secondary attainment in our region? And how does that relate to some of the boards and things that you're involved with?
Well, to me, it's important personally, and it's important to the Board of Water and Light because giving back to where I came from and where we're at is important, because if we can give young people post-secondary educational opportunities or training opportunities, that keeps them here in the area. Mm-hmm. That brings a person that might be looking at leaving the area. It keeps them here. It keeps them paying taxes. It keeps them buying things in the area, buying a house in the area, giving back themselves to the community. So to me, it's beneficial for them personally, but it's also beneficial for the organization because we have grown our own. We've given to them. We've put into them opportunities and education that allows them to understand. You know what? This is a great place to grow up and learn and remain after K through 12. And the more students and more young people we can reach out to and keep here in the greater Lansing area, it benefits them, it benefits us as an organization, and it benefits the entire community. So to me, it makes sense. And I've been on the Ingham ISD board since I think 2012, and it's been extremely rewarding. Seeing young people come through there, learn a trade, from insurance to cybersecurity to construction to electrical to policing, EMTs, and then to see those people stay and give back to the community. That's what it's all about to me.
Definitely. And that's, I think, how I first met you. I met you and your daughter over at an event at the Wilson
Yes.
Talent Center. So
yes, and she is still participating in the culinary arts.
That's wonderful.
Thanks
Good.
for asking. I remember
that.
So we're going to move on to our next question now. What programs or majors would you recommend for students considering a career in the utilities field?
This is one, it might sound, I don't know, standard or whatever when you talk about STEM programs. Just about every position or job or career at the board and with most organizations, you need those math skills. You need to have the communication, the sciences. You think about somebody running a power plant or somebody running a water plant. The amount of math that's involved in doing the chemicals, looking at things from a biological standpoint, from a scientific standpoint, running a power plant to make certain that you have the right mix of things that you need to go into generating electricity is extremely important. And, regardless if you go to a 4-year college or 2 years of education, there's always going to be post-secondary education, math, reading, writing, understanding that is involved in just about every job that we have at the Board of Water and Light.
Cool, thank you.
So somewhat related to the pipeline conversation, CapCAN recognized the Lansing Board of Water and Light as our college access champion because you have a longstanding program called First Step. So can you talk a little bit about the school training to employment program that you have and how it benefits students in our community?
How long do you have?
As long as you need.
This is a program that is very near and dear to me. Um, we take and we're actually in the process of recruiting students right now for our program, but we bring on approximately 12 seniors throughout the greater Lansing area to come and work at the Board of Water and Light for on a part-time basis, and um, a program that we call First Step School to Training and Employment Program, which brings the kids into the board. They mentor, or they work with a mentor on a daily basis. They're here for 3 or 4 hours, Monday through Friday. They learn the skills. They learn how to do the job that they've signed up for. We go through a rigorous process with the kids where they do an application, they get interviewed, they have to write an essay as to why they want to do this program. We partner with Capital Area Michigan Works, with Dean Transportation, with Lansing School District and Lansing Community College. And we assess the students as to what they want to do, why they want to do it, and when we bring them on board, we give them the tools to do it. And we've been doing this since 2008. We've had approximately 120 students come through this program. We've hired 30 of them for full-time employment here at the Board of Water and Light after they've completed their high school career. And then we also give them a $2,000 stipend for college tuition, as well as if we bring them on board as an employee, we have tuition reimbursement programs that they can also utilize to further their education. And right now, has been an extremely successful pipeline for the Board of Water and Light. It gives the students an opportunity to learn about us, to learn about the utility business. It puts money in their pocket, and it gives them a sense of, okay, I'm leaving school and now I'm entering into the workforce, and this kind of bridges that gap between school and work. And during their senior year, they have a foot in both camps because they're still doing their school programs. We had one young man that was on the track team at one of the high schools, and he never missed a track meet, was all state in track, and he never missed a day at work. Even when he had track meets, he made it to his track meets, he made it to work, he did his job, he was always early, and, and he's working for the board today. And this is, it makes me feel good to see young people involved and engaged in programs like this. And it also gives our employees the opportunity to work with young people. And it's amazing the pride that they display when, yeah, that's my first step student. And they take possession of that kid in reference to they mentored them, they helped them to develop into a young working adult.
Well, you can see why we honored the company for the work that you do because of the passion that you have around your students and your employees. And a lot of people don't know that your program has been a model for other companies in the community to establish similar apprenticeship and pipeline programs. So we were very happy to be able to acknowledge your work. And we'll tell our listeners that we will have information about the application process at the end of the podcast. So if you know of a student who might be interested, we encourage you to reach out and ask questions and help that student apply. And certainly our counselors and college advisors in our high school buildings will help the student fill out the application if that's some assistance that they need.
Yes, absolutely. That'd be great.
So I know you already mentioned some of the partnerships you have, like Capital Area Michigan Works and but I was wondering what partnerships you have in addition to those, or including those, I guess, and how do these create opportunities for students in the community? I know you mentioned a little bit already, but is there anything else you would like to say?
No, I think a couple of ways that they benefit students is these partners give the students an opportunity to learn and understand. If it's not the Board of Water and Light that they end up being employed with, we have people at Capital Area Mission Works that help them with their interviewing skills, that helps them to put together a resume, that help them put together essays, how to go about presenting yourself to an employer. It gives them a better understanding of what opportunities are available throughout the greater Lansing area. Dean Transportation has been a wonderful partner. Um, Lansing Community College, there's scholarships and opportunities there available for young people to gain access um, to college level courses and to get an associate's degree and to go beyond. I sit on the board of the foundation board at LCC, and we give out hundreds of thousands of dollars every year in scholarship money for young people, and oftentimes young people that are first generations to college, which is just phenomenal. When you see that and you see a young person that wants to go to college but doesn't have the means, but can receive some funding through the foundation, to me that warms my heart. And to see somebody that they have a thought, they have a goal, they have a dream, and now they have the resources to be able to do so. It's just to me incredible. And I'm a graduate of LCC, so.
Right, right. And we were just at the scholarship breakfast a couple weeks ago, the first event
Yes.
in person for me. So that was nice to see you.
Yes, it was nice to see you too, Michelle.
So I was asking you when we were just getting ready to go live here that you were wearing the Lansing 501 shirt. And this
Yes.
relates to the question that I want to ask you about. What other internship and co-op opportunities do you have for college students? And how do you support them as they are exploring their options at your company when they are studying with you?
We generally bring on approximately 18 to 20 college students. We have two different programs. We have our summer internship program, where, as I said, we bring on approximately 18 to 20 college students, anywhere from engineering positions to accounting, finance positions, IT, customer service, um, human resources, and we bring individuals on from approximately May, when schools are shutting down for the summertime, through the end of August. We have them on site for the entire period, and we treat them like actual employees because we want them to um, understand the culture of the Board of Water and Light, and we give them a tour of all of our facilities. We get them exposed to what's going on in the greater Lansing area. Part of that exposure is having them participate in Lansing 501. So when they leave the office or they leave their workstation at the end of the day, they have a better understanding of what's available after 5 o'clock in the greater Lansing area. Um, be it getting in a canoe or a kayak on the Green River, or taking a walk on the riverfront, or spending time on Washington Avenue or Michigan Avenue, or going to the lug nuts. They get or Potter's Park or Lake Lansing. They get a better understanding of what Greater Lansing is all about in the Mid-Michigan area, has to offer to young people that want to come here and work and play. Um, but that's still what the 501 is about. And we encourage our interns to participate in it. And we also have a co-op program um, for college age students as well, where they can work not just during the summertime, but they can work part-time year-round in many of the same areas of engineering, human resources, finance, accounting, customer services, where they can have a better understanding of what these jobs offer to them, and they could still maintain their college education as well as have an opportunity to learn employment skills. And a couple of things that we're looking at from both sectors of these um, opportunities is looking at these young people for future employment with the Board of Water and Light. And it gives us an opportunity to see who they are, what their work ethics are, and it gives them an opportunity to see what the Board of Water and Light is about, what the Greater Lansing area is about, and it's to me a two-way street. It's an opportunity for us, opportunity for them. It gives them some money in their pocket. It gives them an opportunity to learn and grow. And just talking about one of our students who was an intern 2 or 3 years ago, when he graduated, he took a job. I can't remember where, but we just hired him at the board about a year ago. And one of his goals was when I graduated from college, one of the things I wanted to do was get a job at the Board of Water and Light. There wasn't one available upon graduation, but as soon as I heard of one that became available, I jumped at it. And he works in our engineering department right now, and is probably one of our best employees you can ever imagine.
Definitely hometown proud, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
So it seems that we're coming to the end of the interview, and I have one last question. At the end of
Sure.
every interview with hashtag CapCAN knows, where you would say your name and what you know. So I ask you, Michael Flowers, who are you and what do you know?
My name is Michael Flowers, and I know that without post-secondary opportunities and education, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't know what I know today, and I would not have the opportunity to give back to the community that I love so much.
Good way to end. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank you, Michael, for coming on the podcast to chat with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Eric. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Always good to see you.
For more information on CapCAN, please be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Links will be in the video description below, or visit our website at capcan.org. Thank you for listening to us today, and we will see you all again soon.